This is Feel Better with Lauren. I'm Lauren. Today is video 5 in this series of 12, but we're 14. A series where I'm just trying to get you into the habit of doing these videos every single day. Today, we're going to look at the concept of balance. Today, I will likely fall. Today, I will feel better. Let's feel better together. Subscribe on YouTube. Video 5 today, another just short one. It doesn't take much. We just got to do a little bit every single day. One of the great things about yoga is that we can, it stretches all kinds of muscle groups that we don't even think that we're doing. It stretches our tendons, our fascia, everything. The other great thing that it does is that it activates a whole lot of muscles. If you're just focused on, say, bicep curls, you're focusing on these big muscle groups. Still a bit of stability, all that kind of stuff as well. But as soon as you add balance and different postures into things, you start activating a whole lot of muscles that you don't even know that you have. And activating all those muscles can't help but be good for you. It helps with your structure, it helps with your posture, all kinds of stuff. It's another great benefit of this. So sitting in the middle of our mat, this is a super quick one today. Try to get some good posture. Again, when we breathe in, we stretch everything. And when we breathe out, we've created some space that we can fall in and stretch into those. When we hold these poses for a long time, you'll find that you start activating. Sometimes you start shaking. Sometimes when you're doing balance things, you can see everything firing along. That's good. We want that. As long as you're not in any pain, this is a great thing. So let's just start in the middle of the mat, as we always do. I really think get rid of that stale air that sits in your lungs. There's this residual air, it just sits there. We all have it. There's nothing wrong with it. But if you blast it all out and replace it with some fresh stuff, you immediately get an oxygen kick. So in through your nose and out through your mouth. And in through your nose and out through your mouth. And one last in through your nose. And out through your mouth. We're not hyperventilating, but we are clearing out our lungs. So from the rest of this, we'll just breathe in and out through our nose. This Ujjayi breathing, it's the restrained back of your throat, like you're fogging up a mirror, but instead with your mouth closed. So let's just sit here for a moment, see what's touching the ground. Even just sitting cross-legged, you can feel how you're sitting. You can feel how straight you are. And if you move a little bit, you can see what's just resisting. Just a little stretch around, little stretch around. And just take note of that. And as you've found some little spots of resistance, if you think about that spot, if you think about activating that muscle, or you think about stretching that muscle, it'll cooperate with you a little bit more. So let's just roll over onto our toes, and we're going to stretch the back of our feet. Sit back onto your toes for a moment. You can help by spreading apart your toes if that helps you. Keep them in line at the back, and let's just find. Look at that eating there. And let's just get the back of your feet going. You can feel that your muscles are activated, but you can also feel that they're sort of resisting, right? So as you breathe into this, sitting on your heels, you should get a nice strong sensation, unless you've got really flexible feet, I guess. And if you breathe in and out through your nose, you can find that you get a little extra stretch sometimes. Now, hands down, fingers pointing the top of your mat. It's like you're making a square. Put your eyes of your arms facing forward, and we can just move back and forth a little bit. And as you move forward, you can feel that your wrists are sort of activating, and as you move back, you go into that stretch on your feet. And you can go around in circles, one way and then the other. You might get a few little pops and clicks and stuff. Nothing's hurting. And each time you sit back, you get a nice stretch on your feet. Now, take your fingers, point them to the outside, the sides of your mat. Put your wrists a couple inches apart from each other. The eyes of your elbows are again facing forward, and you can do back and forth that way. Focus a little bit of that stretch onto a place that you probably don't stretch very much. And again, you move with your breath. And the final little bit that we'll do here, there's lots of different, I'll have our fingers facing our knees. Again, the eyes of your elbows are facing forward. And you can move a little bit to the side here, and you can move forward. And then as you move back, maybe your palms lift off. You can bend your wrists a little bit. Nothing's hurting here, but I can certainly feel a good little stretch. And I just find just almost just swaying into this a little bit, getting a good stretch on my feet right now. It's still relatively intense. Okay, so come up out of that, still on the back of your feet. If you've lasted this long, it's a little bit intense for me. Just shake out your hands a little bit. And from here, you can finally untuck your feet. Sit back onto your heels. Spread your knees apart. Your big toes are almost touching. And we're just going to walk forward and just stretch out a little bit here. There's our child's pose. Make some room. You can also keep your knees together. I think because of my belly, I need my knees apart. You're almost so your forehead wants to touch the ground, and also that your chest wants to fall into the ground. And if you want, I sometimes go up with my fingertips, and I get an extra little stretch. And last breath in. From here, your hands can stay where they are. Your knees can go back a little bit, and we'll go into that puppy pose. Again, this is a bit of a different perspective on things. Your hands are forward, your hips are above your knees, and again, you're putting your forehead down, and you're actually reaching your chest towards the ground as much as you can. You may not be stretching down this far. You may be stretching down where your chest is touching the ground. It's all about getting that sensation of a stretch and still breathing through your nose. That's your last breath in. Now, lift up and let's put your arms on the ground like we were going into a sphinx pose. Go up on your toes and we'll go into a dolphin pose here, which is sort of like a downward dog with a straight line between your shoulders and your hips if you can. And you're stretching it that way this time. It's an interesting feeling. Last breath in, and we'll go forward into a plank pose. And you want to separate your shoulder blades here. You want to engage everything in the front, so you're tucking your tailbone underneath, which engages the front of your body. And just breathe through that and relax. And one last, let's breathe in and drop our hips into Sphinx pose. Everything moving all together. You can push up out of your arms if you'd like. Engage your butt. And as you push up into seal pose, keep your shoulders away from your ears so you're not scooching up like that. If it's comfortable, keep your butt flexed. Open up your legs if that helps. And just keep breathing in and out through your nose. And you'll relax into this. And last one in. Now, wherever you are, let's tuck or untuck your toes or tuck your toes and raise your knees off the ground. Raise your quads off the ground if you can. And let's go and push ourselves up. So that push up into a plank. Now again, stretch out. Push that ground away from you. Stretch your shoulder blades apart. Your hips are sort of the same height as your shoulders. Your heels are behind your feet, so you can't see your heels. Like you can't see your heels like that. You're just pushing away. Now, I'm going to do, just making sure I'm okay, I'm going to raise my left leg, and I'm going to raise my right arm. Okay, I'll try that again. There's my left leg. Maybe my right arm's not going to go up. I'm going to put that down. Then I'm going to raise my left arm and my right leg. All right, that's sort of what I could do there. I mean, you can see, let's walk up back up to a squat here for a second. Back nice and straight. Put your triceps just in front of your knees there. I put a little bit of pressure on my knees. It's just we're just trying to push ourselves a little bit. We're not trying to hurt ourselves. We're going to try to engage ourselves. Some days my balance is better. Some days it's worse. Sometimes I'm more out of breath. Sometimes I'm less. But for such slow moves, it's amazing how that little bit can get you sweating, can get you moving, can get you breathing. Let's just go back down to our knees again. Sit on the back of your heels if you'd like. Sit cross-legged. And see what that did for you. That's all it takes. Take a few moments here. Breathe. Feel what's changed. feel what was stretched and strained, and feel better. We'll see you in the next video. Always talk to your healthcare professional before starting a new regime. If you experience pain, discomfort, or dizziness, slow down or stop. These videos will become easier each day, but if it doesn't feel right today, go slower or move to another video. Listen to your body.